What's going on YouTube? JT is Reborn here, and welcome back to another edition of my Godzilla comic book reviews. And in this video, we're going to be talking about Godzilla Rivals, King Ghidorah versus SpaceGodzilla. Reading the description of this issue, apparently this is the final issue in the Godzilla Rivals series, and that makes me really sad because I've absolutely loved Godzilla Rivals. I've enjoyed just about every issue. I think some were stronger than others, and this is one, if not the best in the series, so they actually go out on a pretty good high note. I think this is probably the heaviest, like, without question, like in terms of like emotional like stuff that they got going on in this thing. This is easily the heaviest of the comics. Like you feel the stakes immediately in this thing, and like there's like kind of a dramatic tension going on. This thing does not hold back in a lot of ways, like from the human element and of course the kaiju battles too. Yeah, like what a way to go out. So I'll go ahead and summarize what happens here. So this one is written by Dave Baker with artist Kevin Anthony Catalan, and again, you see by the title, it's King Ghidorah versus SpaceGodzilla. So the story setting here is on this island, which, you know, has like, you know, SpaceGodzilla's crystals and all that on there. It's about a son looking for his dad, who's a scientist. Some tragedy happened in the past. You find out that he lost his sister. Like there was a moment where the dad's like, I need you two to get on a train to escape the city, and King Ghidorah attacked, and you have the kid running with his little sister. He was holding her hand, and he just kind of looks back, and you just see her like severed hand in one instance, like all that was left of her, because the rest of her body got crushed, and it was just this little girl. And I'm like, damn, that is like an emotional gut punch, like right out the get-go. Like I didn't really expect this issue to get that heavy. And you see the people, you see the destruction, you really feel the heavy weight of the stuff going on here, and it matches up quite well with the monstrous battles. Again, the dramatic elements are pretty strong, because again, you only have one issue to tell this storyline, and immediately, like I said, from a visual standpoint, it kind of puts you right into the character's perspective. You understand kind of like who he is and why, you know, like he is the way he is a bit, and you see like kind of the emotional toll. Like you see people suffering, you kind of like walk past that, like you really feel that sense of dread, very reminiscent of the original 1954 Godzilla, after Godzilla attacks Tokyo, and you have everyone kind of there in the hospital, you hear the crying and the screaming and everything like that. That's what kind of goes on here, like the fallout of the kaiju attack. He's reunited with his dad, who's, you know, got the eye patch, and he's got like a robotic arm. His dad was researching SpaceGodzilla's crystals, which could be used as some sort of energy thing to kind of power up. The son is like, you realize how hard it took, like long it took me to get here to try and get you out of here. I have a wife and a son at home, and I want you to come be with them. And, you know, the father is kind of remorseful and regretful about what happened to the daughter. He regrets not going with them because he feels like maybe the two kids would have escaped, and like he'd be the one who'd be gone, but like he feels guilt over what happened. Some elements kind of remind me of the 2014 Godzilla 2, like with Ford like trying to get Joe Brody back, and you have like the zones that are locked off, which is this island. And then of course during all this stuff, SpaceGodzilla and Ghidorah, and, you know, bring their battle back. There's some great moments in here too. There's a moment where SpaceGodzilla chucks a building right at King Ghidorah, which reminds me of the Godzilla Save the Earth video game. I thought that was pretty cool. And again, there's some heavy moments sprinkled in throughout, and some really great kaiju action. Eventually Godzilla does show up, and you do get kind of a moment where him and SpaceGodzilla kind of team up against King Ghidorah, which is something I would have never expected. But of course Godzilla has to go right back in and fighting SpaceGodzilla. It's an alliance out of convenience. So it's like, who does Godzilla hate more? Obviously he hates King Ghidorah more than like any other opponent he's ever faced. I mean, Godzilla and King Ghidorah have never been friends and never will be friends unless somebody creates a version where they are, but I doubt that'll ever happen. You do get the battle between him and SpaceGodzilla. Obviously SpaceGodzilla was fighting Ghidorah. He's not quite as fresh in the moment. So again, we get some good action. Eventually, you know, SpaceGodzilla is seemingly defeated. The island kind of crumbles, and in a really brutal fashion, Godzilla like pretty much just nukes SpaceGodzilla with his atomic breath as he's being like, you know, like engulfed in volcanic molten stuff and all that too. And it's a really cool moment. Of course, the father and son kind of get out, and like there's an emotional kind of ending to it all. So I really liked this book. I thought this one was strong. I thought the artwork was pretty strong too. I thought the action bits were there. The emotional heavy moments really like hit too. Like I was kind of surprised like how kind of gutsy it went early on in the comic book by showing that like death scene too. Like I said, this is a very like a lot heavier than I would have expected, because a lot of these rival series, like, you know, they've had storylines, but nothing's been quite like heavy. Like there's been some fun action-packed ones too. I still think like this, like the ones with Ghidorah, like the one I really like still gravitate towards is the one where it's Godzilla and Ghidorah on like another planet, like a gladiator battle. But this one too, like I think this one, because like at least I have to go back and I guess reread all the Rivals books again. But this one, like, is like, you know, pretty much near the tippy top, because again, they have that serious story and you feel the real heavy stakes of the situation. And of course, like I said, there's that emotional, like, kind of like surprise gut punch. Like, they actually went there. Like, I don't know, like, I feel like the last 2 weeks I've covered comic books where like a little kid has pretty much been like killed off like in a surprising fashion. I didn't like being crushed by something in a way, to this. And, you know, when I cover Batman and Robin, although I don't know if that kid's is dead or not in the Batman and Robin book, but yeah, just like the traumatic stuff kind of happening in this stuff and happening in these books. And, you know, it's like, it definitely leaves an impact, like I said, if kids are harmed especially. So yeah, if this is the final Godzilla Rivals book, what a way to go out. Again, I didn't realize until I read the description, because I was like, where's the whole next thing? What, I guess this is the final one, and that makes me kind of sad, because I really love Godzilla Rivals, and I don't want to see it really come to an end, because I think it gave a chance for artists and writers to tell some interesting, unique, like, anthology stories centered around the King of the Monsters and the various monsters, like, you know, that he's been associated with. So yeah, I'm sad to see it go, but at the same time, this was a really solid book, and Godzilla Rivals was probably the best thing IDW did since like relaunching the title. I mean, Here the Big Dragons was really good. I liked War for Humanity, and, you know, I have a soft spot for Monster Protectors, even though it's like geared towards kids. But Godzilla Rivals was great because of the anthology angle, and, you know, some were stronger than others, but we got some interesting stories centered around Godzilla, stuff I would have never expected. Like, here's Godzilla fighting on another planet. Here's as a gladiator, like a Planet Hulk like storyline. So a lot of cool stuff here. I'm really thankful I read all these books. Sad to see it kind of come to an end. Yeah, but like, I mean, really, really good stuff overall. So, but what did you all think of this issue? What do you all think of Godzilla Rivals in general? Are you sad to see it end just like me? What was your favorite in the entire series? Which one gravitated to you like the most? Which one do you think definitely like was kind of like the best of the bunch? Which one's your favorite? Which one's your least favorite? I don't exactly know. We'll just, you know, like, what did you think of this one? Who do you think's better, SpaceGodzilla or King Ghidorah? Are you glad Godzilla came in and whooped everyone's ass? Like, were you surprised the emotional gut punch this one had? Tell me your thoughts on all this stuff, and I'd be curious to know what everyone else thinks. So yeah, but that's going to be it in terms of the Godzilla Rival series. I'm kind of sad it's all over now. So, but you know what? It was a fantastic series. I loved every minute of it, and I'm looking forward to seeing what IDW does next with the character, what new series they got coming out. I think there's a Mothra series coming out, which I'm really looking forward to. It's about time Mothra got some love in comic book form like that. And I think they got a few other series that they got, like there's the Great Gatsby crossover stuff and a few other spin-off things. But I really enjoy this, and I'm sad to see it go. But I hope, you know, everyone has a great day. So like I said, if you're new to the channel, be sure to like, subscribe, share this video with your friends, all that fun stuff. I'll be back again with some DC comic reviews next, and then more Godzilla stuff when it releases. So, all right, well, that's all I have to say. As always, take care now. Bye-bye then, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace out.